Welcome back, everybody. We are shaking the damn table. Back with episode 16. I'm your host today. I'm Don. We got Amyna and David with me. You see, we don't have a guest today. We were one person less. No new friends. We weren't really in the mood today. It's just a pretty serious topic that we're going to be talking about today. So we just kept it just us for today. So. But before we get to all that, we're going to get started with the move of the week.
Alright, so the first move we have this week is the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute celebrating Juneteenth with another festival this year. And just in case you don't know, Juneteenth is when they celebrated slaves getting free, because after the Emancipation Proclamation there were still slaves in Texas. So after they were free, they created a holiday for it called Juneteenth. So they're going to start off with reading the Emancipation Proclamation and have like an elder blessing and a ceremony. And they're going to have artist Love Moore, who's a neo-soul artist from Birmingham, and rapper and singer Richard Daniel. I don't know who that is though, but and DJ Sirius will be there as well. And it's free and open to the public, so come out there. We have stuff for children like face painting and moonwalks and line dance contests and basketball game and pop-ups and more. So sounds fun.
That sounds fun. I know, right?
Yeah. Oh, and that's on Saturday, so at 11 o'clock.
Civil Rights Institute?
Yeah.
Shout out there.
Our good friend.
Ingram Park, so yeah.
I missed the event last week, the mental health, it was very, very, very good.
It was.
Very rewarding. The episode was posted, so y'all can go watch it.
Yep. And also, Urban Impact is having an event with the historic 4th Avenue businesses. So they used to have music in the park. I don't know if y'all heard of that.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but now they're calling it Pop Up in the Park. So they're gonna have like different vendors and food trucks and nonprofits and stuff up there, because they're trying to get more businesses over in that area.
When is it?
When is it? It's on Friday.
Okay.
Gotcha. I like food trucks.
At 11:30 to 1. Got a Friday and Saturday event downtown.
That's perfect. Cool. Now we got the biz of the week, Mr. David.
Let's get it. I'd like to shout out Memory Lane. It's a sneaker and vintage clothes boutique in Bessemer. A good friend of mine, Chris. I actually met him this year, but he's a homie. He's really cool. And he's on the last Hit of Sports shoot I did.
Fire.
Yeah. But his name's Chris. He's owned them for a while now. He buys, sells, and trades vintage clothing, sports collectibles, shoes, of course. It's new and pre-owned clothing and sneakers, open Tuesday through Saturday from 12 to 7 p.m. and Sunday from 1 to 5 p.m. and they're closed on Mondays. We'll have the address right here. And yeah, if you go on his IG page, you can follow him at Memory Lane. He's on Facebook, Memory Lane. Really dope. Like, the page has a really dope, really dope collection. And I told him I'm gonna pull up soon. Still haven't done it. So any 11.5s you have, because like I know like a lot of people don't have the 11.5. That's like my shoe size.
It's hard to find. It's mine too.
You know what I'm saying? The love for the half sizes, but yeah, definitely check him out. He has a great selection, and he built it from the ground up. Black man with black business, super down to earth dude. So shout out to him.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, man. Y'all heard him. So I guess we gonna get straight into the topic.
Yeah.
All right. So this week we're talking about the movie, the documentary When They See Us. I don't know. Spoiler alert! If you haven't watched it,
we're gonna put
you might want to pause, stop it,
go watch it.
Go watch it. Come back. Yeah, because we about to spoil it.
Yeah.
I just watched it last night, so it's still super heavy on my mind. I got a lot to say, honestly. But, I just want to know, what were y'all thoughts on it? It was a very good movie. I don't know, but we don't really have a structured conversation. We just going to
It's fluid.
Just go. I don't know. Anybody hop in?
I mean, it's just crazy because I was telling him earlier that the New York Daily Times has like all of these documents from the case that they uploaded and is like open to the public to look at. So they have like 911 calls from that night, and they have all the boys plus all the other boys that like were involved and had like confession tapes as well from that night. And then just like all these court documents from then up until like their recent court case before they got exonerated. And I had started looking at it actually because I was looking at the lady who got raped, Patricia Miley, and seeing like if she had anything to say about the movie or like if like they had brought her up and stuff like that. So, Miss Patricia.
Okay, what did you find?
I'm about to read Patricia for a second.
Okay.
So, she said that basically, because you know, in the movie and like, she said that she didn't remember anything about the attack.
All right.
Because she had several brain injuries or whatever, understandable. So, she said that she felt like even though after Mateus Reyes had got out and like said that he was the one who was responsible for it, she was like, I still feel like I was attacked by more than one person. And she's digging into the case herself basically with all the records and all that kind of stuff because she feels like they still had some kind of involvement. Like she doesn't necessarily feel like they're innocent.
This is currently?
Yeah, like within
that's all that. Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Man, she canceled too.
I mean, well, you had sympathy for you up until this. I mean, I still bad. I didn't know. It's a bad thing. My bad. But come on.
Why? That's how you. That's why I think she named this perfectly when they see us because regardless, she still just put a thing on it of like, well, they're black and Hispanic boys, so they probably had something to do with that as well.
Like,
definitely.
Yeah.
Come on, like just stick. You should just stick to your story. You don't remember anything. Like, you don't remember nothing. Don't just come out. Oh, you know what?
Right?
So you remember
All of a sudden, you know what? I think it was a couple.
She was like, I just don't think that it was one person, but he did the same thing 2 days before.
Yeah, he had a whole MO. Like he had a whole thing. So it was like, David, somebody.
Right. It's like
I just watched it. It's heavy on my mouth. I don't know what to say.
Right. It's like I'm definitely like I hate that happened to her and all that, but it's like you're honestly like your credibility on that part statement isn't really valid to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like you've already said what you said years ago. Their lives have been changed forever. All that is in the past. So it's like, well, what's the point of doing like how can it just come to you now? You know what I'm saying?
She just was saying basically that like the police were so nice to her and all this stuff that she didn't feel like there was any fabrications within the police office for what those boys' confession said. So she just believed like, oh well, they had tape, so they had something to do with it. Now
America is not clear cut like that. It's not A/B. Like
I just don't get like how do you argue against DNA analysis? Like
there was none.
I don't understand.
They still found a way to be like, well, they still did it.
The craziest part to me was just as you're watching it, you're watching their case fall apart. Like I'm like, it's a true story, so you know what happened. But I'm like, how do they still go to jail after this? Like, nothing match up. The time didn't match up from the jump, bro.
Their stories didn't even match up on the confession tapes. Like, legitimately watching their tapes, it was just like, of course, they were trying to find a way to not be a sole person within it because they didn't do it. And they just wanted to say whatever they were saying, they were telling them to say. Yeah. And then, like, you could tell they didn't even know, like, they didn't know each other. Yeah. You could tell because one thing when I was watching their real tapes, because I saw Kevin's and Raymond and, like, Corey's tape. But, like, I was watching Kevin and Raymond's earlier. And they were talking about Antron, and like in the movie or whatever, he was talking about they didn't even call me like by my name, like Tronny or whatever. Right. So in real life, Kevin said Tronny the first time he said Antron's name. He said Antron Tronny or whatever. But throughout the rest of their tapes, they kept calling him Anton or Antoine. So if you know him, ain't no way you gonna keep saying his name wrong.
It was literally a classic case of like they started the prosecutor, all of them, Linda, everyone. They started the narrative, and they got so deep in the media. They were like, "Oh, we can't come back from this." Like, so they literally like, we have to use whatever we can to make this work. Like, it was just like it was like just getting a job done, and it was like, and unfortunately, they just picked victims that they just felt fit the mold, and so they just sold the story, which is just so Corey, like. His sad thing about him, he was just being a good friend, bro. He was just being a good friend. Got this. This is heartbreaking. But I will say this: Ava Duvernay, beautiful. Like the cinematography of it, like it was a beautiful, like just
visually, aesthetically pleasing movie to look at, and the casting was perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, Jarrell Jerome. Oh my
yes,
gosh.
bro, give him
Emmys, please.
Play a 16-year-old, play a 30-year-old, like
And then like he got his like whole mannerisms down to a T. Cause like I know people even like on Twitter and stuff were saying like when they first saw it, like before seeing any of Corey's actual videos, they thought that he was like either that was like part of his speech or like he was overdoing stuff. But he like legit had the cadence of the way like Korey talks.
That's crazy acting. Like that's studying. That's really getting into your character. Yeah, he deserves all of the awards. He did a great job.
I couldn't imagine doing a character like that though. And then like because it's not just a character, it's like a real person. Like
because he said after doing the role, he was like, you know, I feel like I was actually him. Like it's in me now, like in my heart forever. And, you know, in Korey return, you know, like gave him like they said like at the premiere and stuff, he gave him a chain and he was like, "You're Korey Wise now," and you know that like
it really is
just like a blessing from that person. It's just he did that.
He did.
Like for real.
What else?
I mean,
it's just so much to say. Like
it is. I mean, like, so what do y'all think about Linda Fairstein getting like backlash and stuff from this now?
I mean, she deserved it all. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen to her. Like, she should go in hiding because...
So, apparently, the prosecutor, curly hair, Elizabeth Letterman or whatever, she, Letterer, she's a teacher at Columbia. And, like, after the Central Park 5 documentary that came out in, like, 2012 or something, like, they had a petition to try to, like, get her fired, but she still works there.
Maybe they'll up the ante this time.
Right.
Nah, it's more. It got definitely more exposure now because everybody saw that. Everybody talking about it.
It's like on people's lives. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that's unfortunate. Like
like
Linda and the Elizabeth, the prosecutor. Yeah, like it's she even in the movie like Elizabeth tried to like she had several times where she showed like a conscience and she was like you know like. But aren't they were innocent? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But she still, you know, she still decided to go with it.
She had a job.
So I can't really have that much sympathy for you. You know.
And the dude came and talked to her. One of the lawyers, like, look, you crossing the line. Like, this is messed up. She's like, don't talk to me about politics. What she said. It was.
Linda's the one who made her feel pressured even more. Like she was like, they're all watching.
She kept using the victim to like convince them. I'm like, quit using this woman. This is manipulation to like at its purest form. They were just falling for it.
Yeah.
And I just hope. I mean, she need to get what she deserves. I mean, they lost so much of their lives. You know, thank God they didn't do that much time, but they still because you know they doing all great now. Yusuf, I think got like 10 kids. And like they got $41 million. Like thank God they didn't have to do like 30, 40, 50. You know, so something like that. It still sucks, but they don't get those years back. You know.
Yeah, like Kevin was what was he 14?
So was Raymond.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like you missed the whole I feel like the biggest part of our lives is like that 16 to 20 age, like
that's growth. Like come on,
that's you really becoming an adult, and now you're doing it in a facility.
It's crazy.
In the worst way.
It's crazy.
Forced to be an adult by admitting to a rape, where some of them might have never even had sex before.
Yeah. Didn't even know what it was.
Right.
Like
then you got y'all president.
Oh, that's a whole nother. I'm glad she put that in there too.
You pay how much? 100,000 for them ads?
Yeah,
you put out?
Yeah, something about that.
To say he should be the get the death
penalty, bring back the police.
We need more hate.
And this is our president today.
Right.
Like,
yeah, right. Like we had the warning.
Some 14-year-old like.
There was a warning back then. Like of him,
and he was nobody then. I mean, he was just a
rich
man.
you know, I'm not saying a rich
asshole.
Yeah, he been that his entire life, you know. So he's just how is this our president? You know, it's just stuff like that. It's tough to think about. Like this is the state of the world right now. It's so evil. Like Jesus,
how is even allowed to happen? Just shows like where we are. Like y'all put him in office. That means this says more about y'all. Like
right. So I went to EJI, which is the Equal Justice Initiative. It's in Montgomery, and it's the like lynching memorial down there. So they have like a section outside that's like the lynching memorial and everything, which is like stones from different counties in Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, and like Texas. And then like they have another part that's like inside museum, and it's called the Legacy Museum. So in there it basically goes from like slavery and like the beginning of slavery into the like Reconstruction era and going into prisons. So basically, you know, like somebody was like talking to us and everything, and he was saying like they've turned lynching into the death penalty.
Yeah, I agree. They basically changed, like, you know, the old habits like lynching and all that. They just made it a way that's legal and accepted, like prison. And like you said, normally prisons, the goal of prison was to be like a rehabilitation thing for them to be able to go back and function in the world. But now it's just hoarding masses of people.
Yeah, you just go there and basically
Your mind, you mentally just decline, and your perspective on everything is just like completely warped. So I don't really see like I think it's just evil. Like
it's just everything about like just the justice system is just messed up, and it sucks because I was watching it with my girlfriend that night, and she has a brother that's dealing with a similar situation, and it hit her so hard she couldn't even finish it. You know, so it's like I know somebody, you know, that affects me too,
right,
and that's going through a similar situation. So it's real. Like this happens all of the time. It's been happening. It's scary because it's like these are the stories that's getting told.
Yeah.
How many stories not getting told? You know,
this just happened to get exposure.
Just there, exactly, bro. Like before the technology, like DNA analysis, stuff like back in the day. You know, ain't no telling. This been corrupt. You know,
based off of hearsay. Then
yeah.
Like he might have stared or whistled at somebody, so they just killed him because you were around.
That's all I need, like, to fuel my hate or whatever. Like, it's crazy. Like, the people back then, it was like, they decided who's in authority. They decided how things work. Yeah. So they decide what breaks the law. So it's like, no matter what, it's like, it's under your opinion. It's subjective to you. So it was never designed to be fair because the people who made it for their self-interest.
Right.
So.
And... You know, can we shake the table a little bit? Like, can we
flip it, bro?
Can we?
That's serious. We shook a lot of stuff. It shook everything.
It really did. It's just, I don't know. I'm gonna try to keep it PG, but it's just, there's this evil in this world, man. It really is. It just shows you. Can we just like say it? Like, just racist people like are mostly Caucasian. You know, it's just those people are just a different type of evil. Racism is hate. You literally hating somebody for looking different. Like that literally makes no sense. And I think what I figured out is, I'm sorry, I gotta go there. Gotta go with the spiritual side. What I figured is like, it's so hard for us to understand because we're not racist. We don't hate people like that. And I think it's like a evil like spirit type thing, like, cause it literally does not make sense when you hate somebody for looking different. You think you're better than them. Doesn't make sense. I don't know grasp it because I don't think we're able to.
It's not meant to make sense.
Because it's like a spirit, like demon, like something. I think that's why the Bible says it's a spiritual warfare. You know, your battle is not against man. Those are something you gotta cast out. Like seriously, that's evil stuff. You just lied on these children because they black kids. Like
to benefit you, to benefit your story, your department, y'all's recognition, all that stuff, like to look good.
And then it's like you said, like it's just to benefit their story or whatever, because like you said, they just wanted to go after anybody who they felt it was. And it reminds me of the whole thing with Liam Neeson, and like he was saying that he was just gonna find any black person out there to try him because his friend got raped by, did he even know if they were black or not?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so he just made up probably a nigger. So let's go find and kill his ass.
It don't make sense.
It shows how like far someone's mindset, you know what I'm saying, can take them. Like, you know what I'm saying. Obviously, it starts with like that's when that seed is planted. Like you talk about spirits and everything. When that seed is planted, it manifests into like sending innocent black kids to jail. You know what I'm saying? For who knows how long. They didn't know how long they're gonna be. They were like, oh, they could be there forever. They had no concern getting them out. It was like close the door. We won the case. Boom.
Yeah.
Like evil. Like.
And they were trying to like put anything on them because even like in the interviews and stuff like that, she was asking them stuff like, "Were you smoking crack?" I was like, "Bitch, what?"
It broke my heart, man. When Korley was like, "What does that have to do with my case?"
Yeah,
like,
that was like
right. Like, he was literally just looking for like logic. He was like, "What's going on?" Like he could tell it was just
because he knew he was being set up. Like he could just tell that this was all. Like, and I could understand, like, you know, you come in to go help your friend or whatever, make sure that they're okay.
Right.
It's like, this don't look good.
Yeah.
And like, you know, that's your friend. And then you end up being the one questioned, and now you're wondering when did you get in trouble.
Yeah, like, what is happening?
And,
like,
right. And
I have no clue what's going on.
You say all this stuff about half of these people you don't know, and you're just trying to protect you and your friend, and then you end up in jail, and you're sitting here trying to, like, fight for your life, and they're just, like, throwing all this stuff at you about, you know, situations that you felt like this was the only way I can get home.
Right. All you want to do, all of them wanted to go home.
I think it's
what did you do as a kid? You just want to go home.
Yeah. Right. You like, okay, these adults are saying this is how you get home, so let me get home.
I'm not gonna get beat no more. That's all I know. I'm just gonna give them to eat. They didn't eat either.
Right.
Not to mention the physical.
They asked them, like, this stuff pissed me off so much, like, watching the tapes and everything, because they were asking them, like, specific questions that they knew were false. But they were going to say yes to, like, oh, did you eat? And they were like, yeah. And then they were asking them stuff like, dang, what did she ask him? I can't remember right now. But it was crazy, because it was just, like, they just saw, like, the opportunity to win a big case, basically, and just like show some what they felt was good to the people who they care about, like basically white folks or whatever, to be like, oh, she didn't just die in a park alone. We found the killers for her.
Right, like we need justice, like we have, you know what I'm saying, get it by any means. And the problem with that is like you're brainwashing the people watch. Like that reached like a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? You're brainwashing them. You're brainwashing them as far as like how they view us, and we ain't even do nothing.
The media was twisting it so much.
Yes.
They're rampaging and smashing and animals.
Wild. Yeah.
Right.
Like,
the
media, bro.
And stuff, right.
Oh, they turned wild into whatever they turned into.
Right, man.
Like, so it was so stupid. The media is all of it is like corrupted.
And it was just so sad because like they were just like, I feel like everybody hates us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they realized.
And they just didn't like
kids saying that.
like,
they didn't do anything.
Right.
Like, as a kid, what do you do? Like they literally ruined their lives. They ruined their what's his name? Antron relationship with his dad.
Yeah.
And he's still mad at him, and it's layers to it. You not only messed up them, you messed up their relationships, and it's so much.
Right.
You know?
I mean, even like Raymond and like
Yeah.
his dad, and then like his dad's new wife and everything,
Yeah.
and then like Raymond's dad and his mom.
Yeah.
A lot of tension all around. Yeah.
Right.
It was just a sad movie, but I don't know. I just know I had to watch something happy afterwards.
Oh, same. I definitely watched a little like cartoon or
Yeah,
something.
I did like the ending though. You know, that was a very kind of lighthearted. They showed them, you know, their everything they accomplished. It was good. Well, it was crazy at the end. Like, it's just crazy what these people tell themselves to sleep at night.
Right.
You know, and when she approached her at the end, like, look, we got DNA analysis. She's like, you know, I'm not gonna lose sleep because we got justice. But you lied on these children. This is what you've been telling yourself for years. Do you believe this? Or
I mean, imagine living a lie, like.
Or did she really believe it, or are you just telling yourself? Like, it's so confusing.
But I don't think they care at all. That's the thing. It's just like, in some way, you being black or brown is you being guilty.
Yeah.
Right. They associated guilt and, you know, troublemaking, whatever, with color, and like that was it. Like tell me how that is like based on what America's supposed to stand for. Like I said, I've always felt, you know, we're a hypocritical nation. You know what I'm saying? Of course, everything, like, you know, everything about how we started and what we're taught is completely the opposite. But
Yeah.
it goes so much deeper into like all the aspects it affects. Like it affects us in the justice system, affects us like financially, affects us. We just not, you know what I'm saying? It's always a push. It's always something pushing against us to excel or move forward. Like always from multiple aspects. So I know like we were talking one time. Like as far as like when they got out, I know like you know they always give them the settlement. Okay, that's cool. That's a good start because like these boys deserve millions on millions on millions.
Right.
Now, it's priceless, honestly.
Yeah.
You can't replace life.
Yeah.
But it's like I know in this day and age they give you the money and then they act like everything it's all mending is good. And like, but you're just protecting them financially. Like their minds that still have to deal with all this stuff. Provide them with like services. Provide them like protect them from the government. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like legally, there's a lot of ways you can protect a citizen. Because when they came out, they, you know what I'm saying, like when they were showing like when Raymond was learning about like basically, oh yeah, you're a felon, so you can't do this. He was like, so what do I do? Like I was like, it's all like all this stuff's pit up against you, and they don't really cover us in all the ways we need to be, like everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get off the topic. It's sad. It's sad to think about. It's just racism in this country and. What can we like do about it? I don't know. It's like we have protests, we have documentaries. It's like nothing's working. It's like these people hate us for no reason. It's not just us. We can't forget it. Like all minorities, Hispanics, like Native Indians, like that's some evil stuff like that's happened that we kind of we don't think about, or I know we realize it, but that stuff's messed up. Like people, that's some real evil. You just gotta just say it. Like that is evil, and
right, you have to.
I don't know. We gotta find a way to fix it, and I don't know.
I think I definitely agree. Like it's like like you said, as far as like reversing it. I mean, sometimes it feels like a hopeless like battle. But like like I believe all we can keep doing as a community, minorities, everybody is just like uniting within each other and increasing our power. You know what I'm saying? Like shout out to everybody. Jay-Z getting the billionaire, all that stuff. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we just need to all just keep bringing our funds together, amassing and growing, because otherwise the system is always going to be there. So it's so deep rooted. It's going to keep pushing against us. So I don't know if we can reverse it in our lifetime, but we can make steps towards that.
Well, we just need Black and brown America.
Yeah, I agree. Wakanda.
Y'all can build a wall around us.
Yeah, that's fine. That is perfectly fine. That is right.
Yeah, man. But that movie, if you haven't seen it,
please check it out.
Please check it out. It's it's very tough to watch. It is very tough to watch, but
it's important.
It's important that you watch it. Definitely make it through.
It's worth it.
It's definitely worth it. It opens your eyes to a lot of things. So shout out to them, man. I hope they get out every award.
Yes,
everybody on the whole team.
Everybody deserves it.
Last thoughts. That's it. I guess that was my last thoughts, huh?
Fuck Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Pure evil. Sorry. Okay, not sorry. My bad. Evil.
Anyway, we'll see how next time.